invite you to close your eyes and imagine with me for a moment. You've woken up from a nap only to discover that over 70% of your body has suddenly ceased to function. What course of action would you take in such a bewildering and challenging situation? In the delicate dance between control and command, we find that even a butterfly with 70% of its wings damaged can still defy gravity and take flight, reminding us that transformation is born not solely from flawless wings, but from the courage to embrace change and wield our own power of command. Ladies and gentlemen, my fellow butterfly travelers, we come together today to explore a problem that touches each of our lives: the challenge of relinquishing control when life takes an unexpected turn. This is not just my story, it's a universal narrative. You see, we're at a crossroads where control must yield to command, for only through this shift can we truly thrive. The urgency is palpable. In the passing couple of years, whether it was COVID, supply chain shortages, employment issues, or family challenges, we have all learned what it feels like to face uncertainty. What most forget, though, is that navigating uncertainty is actually a shared experience. Slowly, more and more people are waking up to the realization that without embracing command, we miss out on a life beyond our circumstances. And so, my fellow life travelers, may our shared time together be our compass to a life of empowerment and growth. As we delve into the topic of command versus control, we'll unlock 3 essential keys to confidently navigating uncertainty. But before we dive into those concepts, you might be saying to yourself, "Oh, AmiLynne, please do tell us what your secret source of wisdom that grants you the authority to enlighten me with such insights is." And it's a wonderful question. So let me share with you just a glimpse of my own experience, and then you can decide for yourself. Can living from a place of command afford me a happier, healthier, more fulfilling life experience than has the facade of control that consistently leaves you exhausted, frustrated, and feeling unfulfilled? In the cocoon of consciousness, I began to awaken, my senses a delicate symphony, slowly tuning in to the world around me. The air in the room held an unusual weight, pregnant with thoughts unspoken, heavy with a silence that spoke volumes. There too was something unknown in the air, familiar but not quite recognizable at first. Slowly I began to realize that the air was literally full. But full from what? I was soon to learn that it was the very essence of life, mingled with the intangible weight of the extraordinary. As my awareness unfurled, I sensed an inexplicable stillness, a stillness that was not the calm reprieve of dawn, but the silence before a storm. My body, once an instrument of boundless movement, lay still as a leaf, captured by gravity's embrace. The limbs that had once danced and embraced the world were now statuesque, motionless as if caught in the midst of a suspended exhale. The realization began to unfold, much like the fragile wings of a butterfly emerging from its chrysalis. And with each passing second, truth, like an ethereal dawn, gently illuminating the contours of my reality. The metamorphosis was not one of literal wings, but of freedom. The freedom of mobility, independence, and a sense of self that had been my constant companion. This metamorphosis was a masterclass in relinquishing control. As my body's autonomy slipped through my fingers, I grappled with a newfound dependency on others, even for the most basic of tasks. The illusion of control I had held so dearly was replaced by a stark awareness of the limits of my own agency. The painted narrative of my life had been reimagined, and in its place, a blank canvas beckoned. A canvas that demanded a transformation from the pursuit of control to the ascendancy of command. The realization brought a symphony of emotions: shock, disbelief, grief, but also, curiously, a flutter of something new. It was as if I could hear the whisper of a breeze carrying a message from the cocoon that I was emerging from. It told of transformation, of an irrevocable change that had the potential to reshape my essence, and not in ways that I had anticipated, but in ways that only profound change can. In that moment of awakening, I found myself enveloped in the command paradox, the paradox that calls for surrendering the illusion of control to wield the unchartered power of command. It wasn't just about mastering the body anew. It was about mastering the very essence of what it means to live. And just as a butterfly's wings carry it through wind and weather, I was embarking on a journey through the tempest of emotions, discovering that command of one's own life isn't solely tied to the body's movements, but to the mind's adaptability and the spirit's resilience. And so, with the heaviness in that room's air, I inhaled the complexity of my new reality, ready to traverse the uncharted territories ahead, a metamorphosis of a different kind, one that promised growth, self-discovery, and the revelation that despite the confines of the cocoon, the wings of command could still carry me to the skies of possibility. Now I invite you into my love laboratory, because right here, right now, I'm going to share with you 3 key ideas that I have learned along the way on this journey back to life. In the cocoon of change, the command paradox emerges. While exact statistics can vary, a study conducted by the American Psychological Association found that over 75% of individuals encounter life challenges that demand control relinquishment for personal growth and resilience. Picture this, the chrysalis of control cracking open, giving rise to the wings of command. The first key is self-awareness. Understanding our values, understanding our strengths. This is our first step towards embracing command. You see, like so many of you, I have always been a fiercely independent soul, accustomed to taking charge of my life and destiny. My days were filled with a whirlwind of activities, from running my holistic coaching practice to writing and speaking at conferences and simply loving my fellow man. I was constantly on the move, firmly believing that control was the key to success. But this life has a way of surprising us, doesn't it? Often when we least expect it too. On that fateful morning, I woke up to a world that had been seemingly turned upside down. A stroke had swept through consciousness like a storm, leaving me in a state of vulnerability and uncertainty like I had never experienced before. In the days that followed, I found myself grappling with this newfound reality. The stroke had affected my mobility and speech, my eyesight, my bodily functions, my memory, most of all, my sense of peace. And it forced me to confront the stark limitations of this physical body. It was a humbling experience, to say the least. And as I lay there unable to move as freely as I once had, a profound insight, or as I like to call them, God whispers, revealed a startling truth. That truth, you ask? That the very control I had clung to so tightly had been an illusion all along. You see, life has its own plans, its own rhythms, and it is far more intricate and mysterious than anything that I could have ever imagined. So with this newfound awareness, I chose to engage even more consciously on my journey of self-discovery. I committed to explore even further the depths of my own consciousness, tapping into inner wisdom and intuition. Instead of resisting the changes that had been thrust upon me, I surrendered to the flow of life, embracing the uncertainty with an open heart. My experience serves as a reminder that sometimes it takes a profound disruption to our lives to awaken us to a deeper truth. But here's the great news. We don't always have to wait for a life-altering event to start our own journey of self-awareness. So, before you go to bed tonight, take a moment to sit in silence. and close your eyes. Take a few deep breaths and ask yourself, what aspects of my life am I trying to control that might be better served by surrendering to the natural flow of existence? And then, friends, shut up and listen to your inner voice. Really listen for it and let it guide you towards a greater sense of self-awareness and acceptance. The quest for command is, in essence, the pursuit of humanity's harmony, a harmony that reverberates not only within ourselves, but also in the world we shape and share. Adaptability and personal growth are inextricably linked. Research published in the Journal of Applied Psychology revealed that individuals who demonstrate higher levels of adaptability, those who embrace change, who unfurl their wings when faced with a storm, are 30% more likely to experience significant personal growth and overall life satisfaction compared to those who struggle to adapt to changing circumstances in personal growth. For me, life took an unexpected turn when waking that morning not so long ago, my world shattered by the revelation of a stroke. This wasn't just a physical ailment. It was a profound awakening to a new consciousness. My once meticulously controlled life was now in a state of chaos, and friends, I had no choice but to adapt. As I lay in bed, I felt a storm of emotions, frustration, fear, and anger coursed through my veins. But amidst the turbulence, a gentle realization began to take root. Remember those God whispers from a moment ago? Well, now, more than ever, I saw in my own experience the wisdom of the butterfly, the creature that surrenders to change and emerges more magnificent than ever. Over the course of a number of days and weeks, and yes, months, that followed, I made a conscious decision. That decision was to embrace this life-altering change as my own cocoon. I saw it as an opportunity to undergo my own metamorphosis, understanding that true growth often requires us to unfurl our wings when faced with the fiercest of storms. In the quiet moments before sleep, you too can take a step towards embracing change. Find a comfortable space and close your eyes. Take a deep breath. Reflect on the recent change or a challenge in your life, no matter how big or small. And instead of resisting it, visualize yourself as that resilient butterfly riding the winds of change with grace and with courage. See this change as an opportunity for growth, as a cocoon that will eventually lead to your own transformation. Allow yourself to surrender to the flow of life. The quest for command is, in essence, the pursuit of harmony within ourselves and the world we share. Like the butterfly, we too can embrace change as a force that sculpts us into beings of beauty and resilience. It's in this embrace of change that we find our true command over our lives and our destinies. So think of yourself as that butterfly. Every flutter is an embrace of change, leading to a breathtaking transformation. Our second step? Embrace the change, for it's the very force that sculpts our wings of command. Autonomy's role in mental well-being is profound. The comprehensive study conducted by the University of Rochester's Department of Clinical and Social Sciences and Psychology established a clear correlation between autonomy and mental well-being. Individuals who reported higher levels of autonomy in their decision-making and life choices demonstrated a 25% increase in overall mental well-being and a significant reduction in symptoms of anxiety and depression, especially compared to those with limited autonomy. Imagine possessing the command to shape your life, to color your canvas with the hues of your choosing. Vulnerability becomes strength, authenticity our compass. Our third step? To exercise autonomy and choose the brush strokes of command. As I navigated the uncharted waters of my new reality after the stroke, one word echoed repeatedly in my mind: autonomy. Those God whispers had helped me to realize that even in my altered circumstances, I can still exercise command over my choices and in doing so reshape my very life. One of the first steps I took towards regaining my autonomy was to adopt a new morning ritual. Every day, I close my eyes and imagine sitting at a window, allowing the warm sunlight to wash over me. It was here that I began to embrace vulnerability, recognizing that it wasn't a weakness, but a profound strength. I started each morning by acknowledging emotions and fears, allowing them to be a part of my journey. Authenticity truly became my guiding star. And in this new reality, I couldn't pretend to be somebody I wasn't. I realized that being true to myself was the key to not only surviving, but thriving. And as I began to make choices that aligned with my core values and desires, regardless of my physical limitations. Even before my stroke, I had been accepted as a candidate for a service dog. And it was during those moments of self-reflection that I truly began to grasp the strength, the courage, and the authenticity that having Bo by my side would bring. And while he wanted to be here with us today, he is still in training, and he has become my loyal companion on my path to autonomy. My furry buddy symbolizes the unwavering support we can find when we make choices that align with our true selves. You too can exercise autonomy in your life, starting right now. Begin with small choices that resonate with your authentic self. It could be as simple as deciding to have breakfast when you usually don't, or setting aside a few minutes for meditation. With each decision, you are reclaiming your empowerment and reshaping your life's canvas. The quest for autonomy is the final step in the metamorphic journey from caterpillar to butterfly. It's the recognition that regardless of the circumstances, you hold the brush to paint your life with the colors of your choosing. Vulnerability becomes your strength, authenticity is your compass, and each choice a brushstroke of command. Like me, you can have the power to transform, to embrace your vulnerability and authenticity, and to exercise autonomy over your life. Let your choices guide you towards a life of profound mental well-being and purpose, something I like to call the butterfly's triumph. It is my prayer that during our shared time together today, you are seeing, if even just a glimpse, that life's true essence lies in the interplay between command and control, the delicate balance between autonomy and restriction that shapes our journey. Command embodies the art of self-mastery, where we author our path with autonomy, guided by our aspirations and values. In contrast, control can shackle us with invisible chains, yielding decisions influenced by an external pressure rather than internal compasses. In the realm of command, we become architects of our destiny, empowered by the freedom to navigate uncharted waters. The rudder of our choices is firmly in our grasp, steering us towards growth, authenticity, and fulfillment. It's here that we experience the thrill of charting our course, crafting a narrative that is uniquely ours. Yet in the shadow of control, the symphony of our lives can be muffled by dissonance. The currents of societal expectations and circumstances may conspire to dictate our choices, leaving us a mere passenger on a predefined route. This lack of agency can lead to a cacophony of consequences, from stress and fractured well-being to fractured relationships and unrealized potential. The perils of such a state are not merely philosophical, they resonate deeply within us. Stress begets stormy minds, and muted authenticity corrodes our connection to self. Our aspirations, like unwatered saplings, wither. Our decisions, deprived of personal agency, morph into regrets. Picture a world where every individual, regardless of circumstances, can harness the reins of command. Stress would find its retreat, authenticity would flourish, and each decision would be a brushstroke on the canvas of a rich and purposeful life. So as we traverse the intricate dance of command and control, remember, the pursuit of command is not an egocentric endeavor, but a call to honor the sanctity of the human spirit. It's an invitation to embrace our birthright as self-guided growth and to celebrate the symphony of individuality that enriches our collective tapestry. Today, We have begun the process of allowing for the paradox between control and command to unravel before us. Embrace self-awareness, adaptability, and autonomy to transition from control to command. This paradigm shift is our clarion call. And as you leave this shared space, I invite you to reflect on the areas in your own experiences where control can be relinquished for personal growth. Fellow butterflies, the wings of command await your embrace. Let's redefine the narrative together. Thank you for joining me on this journey. I love you deeply, for in truth, we are old friends as we are one.